Hello and welcome back to another episode of Unleashing Your Potential, formerly known as Wake Up Poverty Inspires Me. I hope you're having a blessed and fantastic day wherever you're at in the world. And well, if you're not, it's possible that at some point in time you did. This episode I want to talk about timelines. I want to talk about dimensions. I want to talk about reality. I want to talk about all this crazy stuff that it maybe won't be so crazy after you're done listening. If you let's take it back real simple, like, okay, and I want you to think of where you're at right now, where you are at in space. You may be sitting in your car, you may be sitting in your office, you may be walking around, you may be working out. Where are you at? Once you've taken a moment to identify where you're at in space, I want you to think where you could go from where you're at. If you were on the ground, maybe let's say you're doing a sit-up, well, you could probably get up. That would be going up. And let's say you're walking and you got to make a left turn. You could go left. And let's say you're driving and you need to make a right turn. You could go right. And let's say you're on a ladder and you need to come down back to the ground. You could go down. So in this world that we live in, we can move in these manners. We can go up. We can go down. We can go left, we can go right. This is a very easy thing to understand. I mean, we all do it all the time. We're always moving in life. Now, let's put another spin on that. And let's try to understand how time plays into this movement. So let's say that I need to climb down the ladder. So I'm going to go down. And from this down position, I'm going to have to eventually get to that bottom step. Assume that it took you 10 seconds to walk down the ladder. We're going to call that dimension time. If you were to walk forward and you needed to go 200 feet, it might take you 20 seconds. Let's say you needed to go 300 feet, it might take you 30 seconds. So hypothetically, time is going to be the cushion in between the movement that we have here in life, going up, going down, going left, going right. If I wanted to drive from Los Angeles to New York, I would need to go east if I was in Los Angeles, and if I was in New York, I would need to go west. But either way I go, it's going to take X amount of time. Now if I walk, well, it might take months or maybe even a year. If I drive, it may take days or weeks. If I fly, it may take hours. So time then is relevant to movement. The faster we go, the slower the time. That's a very straightforward example that everybody can understand when we're talking about moving from one place to another via different modes of transportation. But here we are, looking at these basic concepts and saying, okay, Chris, that's cool, but what does that even mean? What does that mean? Now this is where we could get into a little bit of a rabbit hole of the Twilight Zone that is going to kind of make you say, maybe he's crazy. Because I'm going to say here right now that all time is existent at this moment, at this time, everywhere, all places. The baby that you were is being born. The old person you are is dying. The future of who you are is being reborn. Well, 10,000 years in the past, you're being eaten by a dinosaur. You say, well, that's impossible, Chris. Humans and dinosaurs, we didn't exist at the same time. But what if time isn't here and it isn't there, so then it doesn't really matter? If I had a time machine and I wanted to go to the Stone Age in my time machine, I just need to get fast enough to get there. But we might say, well, Chris, if you go fast, you can go forward, but what can you go backward? There is no time. There's no time, like there's no direction. Direction, if I go up, if I go down, if I go left, if I go right, I'm just moving. I'm the one that put the name direction on it by calling it which way I want to go. Time is relevant to all of these things. So if I'm going back, if I'm going forward, if I'm going up, left, right, the formula of time will be ever present in movement. Now I want you to think of terms that are thrown around a lot, like our conscious mind and our subconscious mind, and habits and doing things and trying to change our life, but being stuck and not understanding and feeling like we're running out of time. But this is not where you should be focusing your attention. Because automatic things are going to be automatic, which means you're not going to see them, you're not going to notice them, you're not going to know that they're even happening. Conscious thing is like driving manually. You can shift the gears when you hear physically that you cannot go any faster unless you change into second, third, fourth, fifth gear. I can't go backwards unless I throw it in reverse. See, this is a conscious intent based on physical limitations. So when I have pushed myself in a manual vehicle to 10 miles per hour and I must go 20, I need to change gears. You might be getting really confused and say, where are you going with this, Chris? We started out talking about time and now you're talking about mindsets? You see, we think our thoughts. We think we generate our our lives based on what we've experienced. There's an automatic program running there that was built by you over this thing that we call time. But in this instance, it wasn't the movement of physicality as your body is going or from Los Angeles to New York. It's more of a mental, strategic movement, one of belief. I'm poor, I'm less than, I'm not good enough. Repeat it enough, I'm fat, I'm ugly. Any negative connotation that you repeat enough, and you don't even need to repeat it. I eat junk food every day. Your body can feel it. Anything you do enough over time becomes solidified into an unconscious movement of just going left. The speed of what you feed yourself, the more you see it in the world, the more you justify these things in your mind, the more automatic they become. So we put ourselves into these automatic mindset vehicles that are keeping us stuck in a whirlwind of time that feels like we are a mouse running in those little circle things, what do you call them, when they just, little tracks, and they just move, but they're going nowhere. It means your mind is so erratic, it's so fast, it's so all over the place that it has no stability on where to hold on to. It's constantly throwing subconscious actions, behaviors, and beliefs into the program bank. Do you remember back in the days when you would have a computer, and when you wanted to upgrade your computer's operating system, you need to literally erase the entire computer, and then you would have a load of floppy disks that you would have to load into your computer one by one until eventually your new program was there. You see, when we're operating under our own subconscious mind, it doesn't matter what we do as far as like trying to change, because the old operating system will just give us an error message. And we'll find ourselves doing the same shit, living the same life, doing the same thing year after year, day after day, and we're stuck in time. And we don't know what happened. And before you know it, your life's over. And guess what? You got to do it again, because time never existed in the first place. But you might say, but I disagree, Chris. I was 10 and now I'm 15 and I'm 20 and I'm 30 and I'm 40 and now I'm dead. So it looks to us as it's moving linearly. It seems to make perfect sense. But when were you ever anywhere except now? When? When was the last time you were not here? When was the last time you weren't experiencing now? And if you're always now, then when you're moving backwards, forwards, left, up, down, right, planning things in your mind, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, where are you really? You're here. You're always here. It's non-linear. There's no forward or back. There's the experience, the moments, the building, the doing, the becoming. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust, for we are from the earth, and the earth we will return. What does that mean? My body? Well, we all know that. My soul, well, I've never seen that. My spirit, where does that lie? Well, what gives me the voice to make this? What allows me to get up every day and continue to learn and grow and become if I know that the dirt is the end of the day? Why do I do it? There must be more. This is what my mind wants to say. There must be other things. That makes me realize that I'm not even here. Because that last few sentences I spoke, they would be in what we call the past. And the next things I'm thinking about, contemplating in my mind, they will call the future, but I'm really just here. So just be here in life. The mysteries, they start to unfold themselves as you start to become aware to see that they're all intertwined. Time, space, matter, it's all one. Yet it looks like a chaotic dance of many. This is going over my 10 minutes of wisdom. By approximately 1 minute, I should call it 11 minutes of wisdom. This is a pretty deep subject matter, and I'm trying to use simple examples to break it down. Is time and space even real? Are you really here? Is your programming in your mind a real thing? Can it be changed? Well, we'll have to talk about that on the next episode of Unleashing Your Potential, formerly known as Wake Up Poverty Inspires Me. If you've taken the time to listen this long, please like and subscribe and share with your friends, because it's obviously giving you something of value that had you plug in for over 10 minutes. I really appreciate you. I really want to thank you. And until next time, be blessed.